Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. We are discussing the lesson excretory products and their elimination. So far we have discussed the process of excretion and excretory organs, their functions in animals. As plants are also living organisms, so in today's session we are going to discuss about the excretion in plants. Okay children, very interesting. It's very interesting. In plants, basically the plant is divided into two important systems, that is root system and shoot system. You have studied the parts of plants and the functions of different functions in your lower class, that is in the 6th class. Okay, here let us discuss some important functions carried out. What are the waste materials formed in the plants, how they are useful for the plants, and how they are eliminated from the plant. Okay, so in plants, photosynthesis is the process by which the food materials are synthesized. Okay, and here when we pour water to the plants, 100% of that water is not utilized by the plant. Only 2 to some 5% may be utilized for the metabolic activities in the plants. But the remaining water, what happens? So that water will be expelled out or eliminated out by some physiological process like transpiration, guttation. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the process of loss of water in vapor form from the leaves in plants is called transpiration. It occurs through stomata present in the leaves. By the process of diffusion it occurs. Okay, water absorbed through the roots is moved upwards within the plant body, and a part of it is used in the process of photosynthesis. And to stop the plant from wilting, means dropping, the rest of water is lost as water vapor into the atmosphere from the leaves. There are many factors affecting this transpiration: day and night, wind, humidity, temperature, light. These are all the factors which influence the transpiration in plants. You have just recall the experiment which you have conducted in the previous classes, that is a potted plant covered by means of a polythene bag, because some droplets are formed inside the bag. Okay, can you recall that? So that process is called transpiration. Okay, importance of transpiration, if you take it results in the transport of water and minerals from the soil to the leaves. In the leaves, water forms the raw materials for photosynthesis. Okay, what are the raw materials for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide and water. And the transpiration produces a cooling effect which helps in preventing hot sunlight from damaging the delicate cells of the plant. Okay, so excretion in lower plants, it takes place by means of a simple process, that is diffusion. And excretion in flowering plants, if you take the excretion of waste products is very simple and much less in plants as compared to animals. The waste products of one process are often used as raw material in another process. So this is very clear if you study the process of photosynthesis and respiration. Okay, the excess of food materials are stored in the roots, stems and other parts of the plant, that is fruits, seeds. Okay, so the waste products of photosynthesis are the reactants of the products of photosynthesis are the reactants of respiration. So that's why in plants the metabolites means the products of metabolic activities are of different types. They are divided into two: primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Okay children, primary metabolites means which are formed as a result of vital activities in the plants, like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, whatever the organic compounds. Okay, secondary metabolites means the waste products. Okay, for example, photosynthesis, glucose, water are formed as end products, and oxygen formed as end product. And if you take respiration, glucose and oxygen are used as reactants and produce carbon dioxide and water as the end products. The products of respiration in plants, they are used as reactants of photosynthesis. Okay, here you see this image. In some plants, guttation means water droplets passed out of the special pores at leaf margins. So the water may contain the sugar, salts to be excreted. Excess of sugars and salts, because homeostasis, maintain of balance, internal environmental balance. Okay, so this guttation process takes place with the help of structures called hydatodes. Okay, especially in grass plants in winter season, early morning, when you touch the surface of the tip of the leaves, some watery substance will be touching your hands. Your hand become wet. So this process is called guttation. Okay, let us study more about the excretion plants in today's session. Ready children? Let us proceed. Excretion and release of substances in plants. Why plants shed their leaves and bark periodically? Let us start with a question. Why plants shed their leaves and bark periodically? The biochemical substances produced in plants are of two types. They are primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. The materials like carbohydrates, fats and proteins, these are primary metabolites. The materials which do not require for normal growth and development are called secondary metabolites. Example for the secondary metabolites: alkaloids, tannins, resins, gums and latex. These are all the secondary metabolites. Though plants produce these chemicals for their own use, man found the usage of these chemicals for own benefits. They are generally colored and fragrant. Fragrant means having some scent, some smell, aroma. Okay, so man recognized their importance and started using, the Ayurveda. It is the branch of medicine in which most of the plant products are used. They are secondary metabolites. They act like medicines. Okay, let us proceed. So excretion, release of substance in the plants. So here the secondary metabolites, alkaloids. What are alkaloids? Alkaloids are the nitrogenous byproducts. They are poisonous and some of them are of medicinal use. These are stored in the different parts of the plants like bark, leaf, root, stem. Okay, the common alkaloids in the plants and their uses. Okay, just given beside you see here. Alkaloid name: quinine, nicotine, morphine, cocaine, reserpine, caffeine, nimbin, scopolamine, here yes silent, copolamine, pyrethroids. These are all the alkaloids. Here some plants also given: Papaver somniferum, it is also called opium; Royalphia serpentina, it is also called sarpagandhi; Keffia arabica, caffeine is produced from this plant; tobacco, Nicotina tobacianum, Nicotina tobacum. So this is the plant which is used in the cigarettes and other nicotine. Datura stramonium, Datura, it is also a very medicinal plant. These are all the medicinal plants if they are used in right proportions. If they are used beyond the limit, they act as poisons. Okay, alkaloids are nitrogenous byproducts. So here quinine is produced from the plant Cinchona officinalis. It is also called cinchona. The part from which it is extracted is bark. The bark of cinchona produces quinine. Okay, so this can be used as an anti-malarial drug. Okay, recently for corona also it is used, quinine. Okay, initially. Next, nicotine, Nicotiana tobacum, the tobacco plant. It is extracted from the leaf of tobacco and it is used as an insecticide and as a neurotransmitter. Okay, it will stimulate the nervous system. Next, morphine and cocaine. So these are produced from the Papaver somniferum, opium plant. It is also called opium, and it is produced from the fruit of the opium plant and it is used as a painkiller. Okay. Next, reserpine. Reserpine is produced from Royalphia serpentina. The plant name is Royalphia serpentina. From the roots especially it is extracted, so that's why it is also called the snake root. The medicine for snake bite it is used. Next, caffeine. Caffeine is produced from a plant Keffia arabica, coffee plant. From the seeds this caffeine is extracted. It also stimulates the central nervous system, brain. As a stimulant it can be used. Nimbin, it is the most common alkaloid. You can see Azodirecta indica, the name of the plant, neem plant, and almost all parts of the plant contain this alkaloid nimbin. Okay, so it acts as an antiseptic. So almost all types of soaps, okay, like Medimix, okay, they contain some Ayurvedic soaps. They use this nimbin. Neem oil is also commonly used, okay, in Ayurveda. It is an antiseptic functionally. Next, copolamine. It is extracted from the Datura stramonium, Datura plant, ummetta. Okay, from the fruit and flower it is extracted. It is used as a sedative. Next, pyrethroids. Pyrethroids are the extracted from the chrysanthemum, chamanti. Okay, it is extracted from the flower and it is used as an insecticide. It is used as a insecticide. So these are only a limited list is mentioned here. There are so many alkaloids produced from the different herbs obtained from the forests. Okay, in the Ayurveda or medicinal botany is the subject which deals with these medicinal plants. Okay, let us proceed. Next, tannins. Tannins are carbon compounds. These are stored. Okay, these are stored in different parts of the plant and are deep brown in color. These are carbon compounds. Tannins. Tannins are used in tanning of leather, means to remove the hairs from the leather, and in the medicines also these tannins are used. Example, cassia and acacia. Cassia and acacia plants. Okay, the extraction from this. These are common plants you can see in your surroundings. Okay, they are the weed plants or unwanted plants which grow in the Banjar soils. Okay, useless lands. They grow. They possess very sharp spines. Okay, these plants, cassia and acacia. Resin. Resin occurs mostly in the gymnosperms. Gymnosperms means palm trees like. Gymnosperms in a specialized passages called resin passages. Internally, these passages are present in the gymnosperms. So these are used in varnishes, paints. Okay, example, pinus, palm tree. So you can see this is the acacia, tangedu. Okay, acacia, tumma. Pinus, it is a palm tree. Okay. Next, gums. You know very well gums are extracted from the plants like neem, acacia. From the wounded parts of the plant, these gums are oozes. They comes out a sticky substance. It is golden, yellow or brown in color. Okay, from the cut branches, from the neem tree also you can see. The gum swells by absorbing the water and helps in the healing of the damaged parts of the plant. Actually, the gum is secreted by the plant in order to heal the wounds. The gums are economically valuable and are used as adhesives and as a binding agent in the preparation of medicines, food, etc. Okay. So Jatropha, it is also the plant which secrete the gums. Okay, when you cut any part. So latex, if you take next, latex. Latex is a sticky, milky white substance secreted by the plants. The plants belongs to Euphorbiaceae family. Euphorbia. Okay, the latex is stored in the latex cells, separate cells. Okay, just like resins in the resin passages, they are special tissue present in those plants. Here latex is stored in the latex cells or latex vessels. From the latex of Hevea braziliensis, it is also called the rubber plant. Rubber is prepared. Okay, this is the Hevea braziliensis. So from which, so this is the milky substance which is produced. Okay, it is used in the preparation of rubber. Latex from Jatropha is the source of biodiesel. And do you know which part of the Jatropha used in the production of biodiesel? So that is the seeds, the fruit. Okay. So now till now from the stem, from the leaves, okay, from the flowers, especially from the this bark we have studied. So do roots also secrete these substances, secondary metabolites? So here a botanist by name Brueggemann, a botanist, proved from his experiments that the roots not only absorb the fluids from the soil but returns a portion of their peculiar secretions back into the soil. Okay, we can see such instances in the plants like apple, where a single apple crop for 4 to 5 years continuously in the same soil, that soil failed to produce the fruits. Okay, it will not give proper yield even if you use a lot of fertilizers also. Okay, why do you think is there any relation between the reduction in the yield and the root secretions? Definitely. So because of the secretions from the roots, the soil becomes infertile, the apple crop. That's why crop rotation is suggestible. Why do we get a peculiar smell when you shift the potted plants? You know very well, potted plants, the roots are accumulated inside. Okay, though we are watering, we are restricting the root system, so automatically those roots secrete some chemical substances, so that produce some smell, some distinct smell. So what is the difference between excretion and secretion? Excretion is a physiological process, and secretion, these are appears to be same, since both are involved in the passage or movement of materials. Both process move and eliminate unwanted components from the body. Excretion is the removal of materials from a living being, while secretion is the movement of materials from one point to other point, irrespective of living or non-living. Okay, so secretion is active while excretion is passive in nature. The humans excrete materials such as tears, urine, carbon dioxide and sweat, while secretion on other hands include enzymes, hormones and digestive juices, saliva. See the difference. Excretion is the elimination of unwanted substances. So example, tears, urine, carbon dioxide and sweat, while the secretion, hormones, enzymes, okay, these are secreted. Secretion takes place through the glands. In plants also we find excretion through roots into its surroundings and falling off leaves and bark. These are the process of excretion. The secretions occur in the plant's body in the form of latex, resins, gums, tannins, okay, etc. So finally, the disorders of excretory system in humans. First one, uremia. Uremia is the malfunctioning of kidneys due to accumulation of urea in blood. Okay, when the nephrons are not functioning properly, urea is accumulated in the blood, that is called uremia. Renal failure. Renal failure means a functioning kidney is used in the transplantation from a donor of closely relative. So this renal failure means kidney failure, during which what happened, the functioning of kidney is stopped, so transplantation is required when the renal failure occur. Okay, the blood vessels which carry blood to the nephrons, they stop functioning. Renal calculi, if there is any formation of stone or insoluble mass of crystallized salts like calcium oxalates or calcium, okay, it formed within the kidney. So here see, stone in the kidney, this is the renal calculi. Glomerulonephritis, it is the swelling or inflammation of glomeruli of kidney. Okay, here inside the kidney, in the nephron, the glomeruli part, the cup shaped Bowman's capsule is there, in that glomerulus is present. If any swelling or inflammation occur there, it is called glomerulonephritis. Okay, these are all disorders which are caused due to the unhygienic habits, consumption of alcohol, okay, eating only one kind of food every day. For example, eating leafy vegetables only leafy vegetables continuously, so the calcium oxalate, okay, they are form the stones. Eating only tomatoes daily, so that is also okay. Eating eggs only, so combination of wrong combination of the food preparations, okay, mixing egg and palak, mixing hermaphrodite and hermaphrodite leaves and palak, okay. So like that, so due to the food adulterations, means food mixings, also these disorders may arise, okay. So all these disorders can be rectified by the doctors by following specific methods. Okay, children, I hope you understood. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.